Layton City Council meeting, Thursday, March 19th, 2026, 7 p.m.
Right here? I'm just switching over that. That's what I was saying. Come up closer if you want. We'll end up, you can kind of see what's going on here. Okay. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and get our meeting started this evening. I'd like to welcome everyone out to our Layton City Council meeting for March 19th. Our start time is 7 p.m. It's always exciting to see folks in the audience. And as customary, though, we do like to start our meeting with a prayer and a pledge. And again, we take turns up here on the dais, and we have the option to invite others to partake of that or do it ourselves. And tonight, I have asked Miss Irene Hill to say our prayer and lead us in the pledge, or I'll lead us in the pledge. If you'd like to say the prayer, so I'd like you to come up to the mic and go ahead and state that. And just for the record, I know that you're part of First Faith Baptist Church here in Layton, correct? Okay, thank you. Please join us.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for everybody that is here today, that they had safe travels. And God, just please bless this meeting, and that your will be done. And please help everybody have safe travels home. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, thank you very much. If you could please rise and follow in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, very good. Like I said, this is kind of a fun night here tonight, but first off, I need to acknowledge a special guest we have here on the stand with us. As you know, Layton City has our own youth council, and so it's a great opportunity for them to kind of really understand how the city functions and witness it firsthand. So to my right here, I have... Addison Hedgespath, who is on our council. So I'd like to turn some time over to her and let her kind of explain or tell us something special about the council.
Okay, so I'm Addison. One of the things that I thought to bring up today was just about 2 weeks ago we had the opportunity to travel up to Logan and go stay at the Utah State campus for 3 days. It was a big conference between everybody and every youth council within Utah, and we were able to just have a fun time. Like, they had a lot of activities, and we got to make connections that otherwise would not have happened. And
okay. Out of curiosity, 2 questions. What was your favorite event, and did something special happen?
My favorite event, honestly, was one of the classes. It was on civility, and the teacher that taught it was just an amazing guy. Like, he was very clear in what he wanted us to understand, and taught us a lot. And then one thing that was special is I got asked by one of the guys up there to go to Green Canyon's prom with him.
I didn't expect that, but that's awesome. That's pretty good. Well, thank you. We're glad you're here with us this evening. Okay, I'd also like to acknowledge we have looks like some special guests out in our audience as well. And I'm going to ask, we do have some scouts with us, so perhaps maybe you guys could tell me what troops you're with.
I'm John Nickel, and we're
007. Okay. Is there another troop?
I'm Walker, and being a troop boy.
Awesome. Well, welcome, gentlemen. We appreciate you being here. This is a great opportunity for you. Okay, I need to go ahead and bring the meeting back to order here and acknowledge the fact that we have 4 sets of minutes that needs to be approved. So, council, if you've read through your packet and if you have no changes, I would accept a motion to adopt the minutes, and if you could, please state the date and what it is.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I move that we accept or approve the minutes of Layton City Council work meeting January 15th, 2026. Layton City Council meeting January 15th, 2026. I do have one correction that was made for the Layton City Council work meeting February 5th, 2026. There was just a modification, a change from the word where to about in a sentence for clarity. And our clerk has provided that change to each of us. And so I would like to make the motion that we accept or approve those minutes with that correction. And then finally, the Layton City Council meeting minutes for February 5th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. I failed to acknowledge the fact that Councilmember Bloxham is he's ill today and was not able to attend, but we hope that he'll, get better and recover from his illness at this time. So I'll bring it back around then for any type of municipal announcements we might have. So, Councilmember Thomas.
Yes, for the Parks and Recreation. This Friday, March 20th, is that Friday?
Tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
That's Friday. Yeah, don't say tomorrow, say Friday. Okay, I don't get it. Anyway, it's free. It's a history and beyond type thing, 6:30 to 8 o'clock down here at the Central Branch. And they'll explore America 250, which is her birthday this year. The museum has a bunch of baby chicks. I don't know if they've hatched yet, but they're there. So if you ever want to go see a bunch of eggs that are going to get ready to hatch, go to the museum. Surf and Swim is having an Easter egg dive on the 21st, which would be Saturday. It's $3 a piece. You have to be under 14. Children under 5, you need to have a parent with you in the pool. Time 10 to 12. It's, like I said, Surf and Swim. And if you pay your $3, you can stay and swim after the egg dive. And then they have their regular sports registrations. The boys and girls T-ball, coach pitch, machine pitch, some adult volleyball, softball. So if you're interested in that, time to do it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Mayor, thank you. I do have two community announcements. There is a coalition called A Bolder Way Forward, and it's a coalition that focuses on girls and women and helping families thrive. The Davis County Coalition is having the annual spring, or not annual, but having a spring meetup. It will be this Monday, March 23rd, from 6 to 7:30 at the Davis County Memorial Courthouse in Farmington. Light refreshments will be served, and at this meeting, there will be information about our county, surveys that were done by members of our county. We know that Layton is the largest city in our county, so a large portion of that is from residents here who live here with us, and we'll just provide lots of information about the county's focus on how to continue to help our families thrive. So I'm inviting everyone to that. And then also Lovey's Cakes, which is a bakery here in Layton at 2146 North Main Street. They are sponsoring a promotion for kids, K through 12 grade students with all A's on their report card will receive one free cupcake or cookie. And if they exclusively have A's and B's, then they can get half off of one cupcake or cookie. They'll need to show their school ID or have a parent with them in their report card. But Lovey's is wanting to promote education, and will also, with parents' consent, be able to post your child in the store as a high achiever for getting good grades. So I just wanted to share those two events with the community.
Okay, excellent. Is there any others? Okay. Well, that leads perfectly into our next agenda item, which is our verbal petition and presentations. But speaking of high achievers, we have the great opportunity here to acknowledge two gentlemen who have achieved the ranking of an Eagle Scout. So we'd like to acknowledge them personally. What we've done is we've got a letter here, and we'd like them to, we'll have them come up one at a time. And if you could, I'm going to have you stand over here by the podium, and then we'll read our letter of appreciation and acknowledgement, and then we're going to have you walk through and shake our hands, and then we'll acknowledge the next one. And being that yesterday was Councilmember Smith Edmondson's birthday, I'm going to have her go ahead and start out with our first one, acknowledging Walker Heiner.
Well, thank you. All right, Walker, come on down. So I'll read this letter. It's dated March 19th, 2026. Eagle Scout Walker Heiner. Dear Eagle Scout Walker Heiner, on behalf of the Layton City Council and Mayor Joy Petro, we extend my heartfelt congratulations to you on earning the distinguished rank of Eagle Scout. This remarkable achievement reflects extraordinary dedication, leadership, and character. These qualities speak volumes about the young man you are and the leader you are becoming. Earning the rank of Eagle Scout in just over a year and a half is a rare accomplishment, and it underscores your focus, discipline, and commitment to excellence. Your record of 53 merit badges, along with 2 gold palms, 2 silver palms, and 3 bronze palms, represents an exceptional breadth of knowledge and service, well beyond the standard requirements. Your membership in the Order of the Arrow further highlights your dedication to the Scout Oath and law, and your commitment to cheerful service and leadership among your peers. The Council and Mayor Petro are especially impressed by your Eagle Scout project, the creation of a free-running clinic focused on movement and motivation at Weber State University, benefiting Youth Impact and the Boys and Girls Club. This project demonstrates not only initiative and organization, but a genuine desire to uplift and inspire youth through physical activity, confidence building, and positive mentorship. Your work has made a meaningful and lasting impact on the community. Please accept our sincere congratulations on this outstanding milestone. Layton City is proud of you, and we look forward to the positive contributions that you will continue to make. This is signed, sincerely, Mayor Joy Petro. Congratulations.
Thanks. That's very impressive. Okay, now if I could have Easton Heiner, would you mind coming up and standing over here? Okay, Easton. On behalf of the Layton City Council and myself, it is an honor to extend our sincere congratulations to you on your achievement of achieving the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout. This accomplishment represents the highest ideals of scouting and reflects exceptional dedication, leadership, and character. Here's the fun part. Earning this rank of Eagle Scout at just 12 years old. Yeah, is an extraordinary milestone, and it places you among the youngest scouts to ever reach this level. Your achievement is even more remarkable given your impressive record of 64 merit badges, along with 3 gold palms, 3 silver palms, and 3 bronze palms. Your membership in the Order of the Arrow further demonstrates your commitment to service, leadership, and living the Scout oath and law. The City Council and I are especially proud of your Eagle Scout project, organizing a shoe drive that collected an outstanding 304 pairs of shoes, of which 100 of them were donated to the Youth Impact and the Boys and Girls Club, while the remaining shoes were provided to Souls for Souls, extending your impact far beyond our local community here. This project is a powerful example of compassion, organization, and service to others, and it has made a meaningful difference in lives of many. Your ambitious goals to earn every merit badge speaks of your curiosity, your determination, and the love of learning. These qualities, combined with your strong work ethic and the service-oriented mindset, will undoubtedly lead you to continued success in scouting and in all your future endeavors. Easton, your achievements bring great pride to your family, your scouting community, and the city of Layton. We commend you on your hard work and encourage you to continue striving for excellence and service. And I announce that on behalf of myself and this entire council. Congratulations. I'll have them come back. Okay, if we would both of you come up and stand right here in front, and we'd like to, actually I think we need a picture with the council down here, and then we'll also present you with our letters. Down there. Congratulations. I thought it was well worth the honor to be able to acknowledge both these scouts tonight. I mean, I know that the scouting has been in a change, and it's great to see that you guys are keeping the scouting program alive and how valuable it is, because I know firsthand the importance of that program and how it builds great lives and good leaders for us in the future. So again, I commend all of you scouts that are in attendance tonight. Thank you for being here, for being supportive of your fellow scouters. And again, all of you are very worthy of this, and I hope that we see more of you. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and continue our meeting tonight, which I'll now brings us to our citizen comment portion of our meeting. So if anyone's here that wishes to address this governing body, you're more than welcome to. You can come up to either podium, just state your name, what city you're from, and just please keep in mind that we will not get into a dialogue. We will not discuss it, but certainly we'll gather that information and make sure we follow back up with you and take whatever action we need to. So the time is now yours. I should mention, though, if you're here for one of our public hearing portions, a public, when we go to address that public hearing, at that time we will open it up and you can give us specific comments on those items. Sure.
It's okay if I stand here, I guess.
Yes.
I'm Wayne Potter, and I live up in East Layton. And I just had a suggestion for the council. I see, that land up there by the Highway 89. There's a whole bunch of it, and they're auctioning it off. I thought, geez, that'd sure be nice to have a park up in the east part of Layton for, baseball, soccer, a number of sports that the youth enjoy. And I know there's a lot of fields out to the west, but there's really nothing up on the east side. Just a suggestion for the.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't know if that's possible or how much money or anything, or maybe somebody would buy it and donate it to the city. I thought it'd be great. So thanks.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else on our citizen comment portion? Okay, being that there's none, I'll go ahead and go on down to our consent item tonight. We do have 2 items on our consent items, and once again, these items will be presented to us, and this council will be able to take action on both items in one single motion. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn the time over to Mr. Steve Jackson for a bid award.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's good to be with you tonight. For your consideration is Resolution 26-17, bid award to Orman Construction for the 490 West Hillfield Road Sewer Project. Project location is directly west of Northridge High School on the west side of Hillfield Road, indicated there in the red. The pipeline is in... It has some bellies in it that create some backups for us. So we've had a couple sewer line backups. We need to get this pipeline fixed. Unfortunately, it's not in a great location along Hillfield Road and then through a set of private driveways. So the project includes the removal and replacement of 8-inch sewer lines and then manhole replacements, as well as some storm drain pipe relocations and installations. So you could see on that map along Hillfield Road, there's a fairly substantial section of the roadway here that is the sewer line needs to be replaced, and then across the entire frontage of the 2 homes that are on that private drive, and then as well this entire intersection, the storm drain sits right on top of our sewer line, so we need to remove the storm drain in order to fix the sewer and then put the storm drain back. So quite a bit of work there. We solicited bids for this project. We had 8 bidders actually pull the plans on the project. Only 3 chose to pre-qualify for it, and we only received 1 bid from Orman Construction as the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $306,159. The engineer's estimate was $275,000. So. City staff recommends that the council adopt Resolution 26-17 and award the bid to Orman Construction and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement for this project. Are there any questions I can answer for the council?
Any questions, council?
Is it going to do anything to Hillfield Road? I mean, I know you're going to dig something up, but
it's actually outside of the right-of-way of Hillfield Road, or excuse me, it's in the right-of-way of Hillfield Road, but it's behind the sidewalk.
Okay.
There's actually a North Davis Sewer District line right there that we're going to have to work around as well. So project will be about 13 feet deep, so it'll be a fairly substantial trench there, but we'll use some shoring to make sure we're not impacting the roadway.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, excellent. Thank you. Okay, we'll now go on to our second item here, and which is an adoption of an ordinance prohibiting currency kiosks, and our city attorney, Mr. Clint Drake, will be presenting that for us.
Thank you, Mayor. We talked about this in the meeting prior to this, as well as our work meeting 2 weeks ago, but just for the public's benefit, I'll give a brief description. Located within our city and throughout the state are what is known as virtual currency kiosks. Excuse me. They appear to look like ATMs, but they don't operate in the same way. They our police department has done an investigation and has taken several cases over the past several years and has found that these kiosks are being used to defraud our citizens of considerable amounts of money. From the years 2021 to 2025, Layton City residents alone lost more than $2 million through these kiosks. The way that they operate is that there are different types of fraudulent scams that different people, oftentimes vulnerable adults, will be tricked into or pressured into depositing large sums of money into these virtual currency kiosks, sometimes in amounts like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. And once they're deposited in those kiosks, they cannot be recovered. Our police department is rightfully concerned about the health and welfare of our city. Did a presentation to the city council. One interesting thing to note is that the state of Iowa, the Iowa Attorney General's office did some research on this and found that in the state of Iowa, 98% of transactions through virtual currency kiosks are fraudulent. Based on that information, as well as the experience of our own residents and the many police reports that our police have taken, the city recommends that the council adopt the ordinance prohibiting virtual currency kiosks within the city. It would make it a Class B misdemeanor to host, allow, operate, permit, or locate one of these kiosks within a business or a place that's accessible to the general public. These shop owners have 60 days. If passed, these shop owners would have 60 days to remove those kiosks. And just for clarification, it is not meant to restrict the use of virtual currency just through these terminals and kiosks. That doesn't prohibit anybody from using and purchasing, selling, transacting virtual currency through computers, cell phones, tablets, things of that nature. And with that, I submit to the council. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, council, do you have any questions on this?
I don't have any questions, but I believe the first time we discussed this was in a work meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So just to give a little bit of background maybe to the public about, and you may have said this already, but could you restate, if it wasn't stated, how much money residents have lost from these types of kiosks?
In Layton City alone, from the years 2021 to 2025, it was over $2 million.
And then also there were signs placed in front of these. In the work meeting a few weeks back, we were able to see video footage of folks who were using these machines and even were being stopped by folks who work at the stores to say, hey, don't put your money here. And it was very obvious that a lot of these folks were just in a frantic state of mind and really didn't even want to adhere to folks who were trying to say, hey, don't put your money in here, it's going to take it. So I just wanted to give that little bit of background, at least for those who are present and those who may be watching, that this has been a pretty big deal, and the officers who did all of the research on this really did their due diligence and wanted to do something to actually help the residents. Even sometimes you're in a situation and you don't really accept help. And so this was a way for the city to try and help those folks out and to not continue to lose the funds in these types of machines. So just thanks for that background and to the officers for following up on this.
Yeah, and our police investigation, as well as other investigations in other cities and other states, has found that the notifications they're not very effective. Most people ignore them, and when they do read them, they don't believe them. And as you mentioned, when they're warned, even in person, one of the videos that we watched was actually a law enforcement officer telling somebody not to deposit money into a machine. And they were on the phone with somebody that was telling them to put the money in the machine. And they said, well, I'm on the phone with the police. And the uniformed police officer said, no, I'm the police. You need to stop doing this. So it is a problem. Like I said, it typically, not always, it can happen to anybody, but it typically preys on the more vulnerable portions of our community and our society. And that's why the city or the staff is recommending that it be passed.
You know, and I might add here, and I think, once again, kudos to our police staff, but from what I understand, and being that this council will pass this tonight, that Layton will actually be the first in the state to take action on this, so that once again it just shows how forward-thinking this city is in protecting its residents. So again, thanks to all those that helped undercover this and really do the deep dive understanding what was taking place. Okay. That was our second item of business regarding our consent items. So now I'll bring it back around to the council to go ahead and take action on our consent items. So, council?
Yeah. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the bid award to Orman Construction, Project 25-43, Resolution 2617. And on the second one, it's probably the first time I've ever been excited to pass a resolution. I wish we could do more, but to adopt the ordinance prohibiting virtual currency kiosks. Mostly it's crypto automated teller machines. And that is ordinance 2607.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second. I'll second that.
Okay. It's been moved in second that we accept both consent items as presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you very much. That was very good. Thank you, Chief. I failed to acknowledge we have our Chief back here with us, so good job. Okay, let's go on to our public hearing portion of our meeting. We do have 3 items tonight. Mr. Weston Apollonie is going to present all 3 of them. So we'll go ahead and start with the first one, which is a rezone request for the overlook at Case Creek.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a rezone request of 3.57 acres that is identified within the sensitive lands. The property is located east of Highway 89 at approximately 2550 north with frontage on Valley View. Give you a closer view of this. The properties located to the east at the subject property are consistently RS, which is residential suburban single family lots. And there is a church building that is located to the south with Highway 89 located to the west. Blake Anderson is representing Omner Holdings, who is the applicant, requesting a rezone for the subject property from RS to R110 single-family residential. This is a standard single-family residential subdivision that's before you tonight. The proposal includes 10 single-family residential lots. The city and the applicant have been working with the applicant's geotechnical engineer and the city's third-party geotechnical engineer to identify and mitigate geotechnical and geological issues that are identified on the property. The items were explored were fault scarp locations, slope stability, the stability of soils, groundwater, and liquefaction. These are portions of the subject property that have been identified as, and then also portions of the property that would be identified as unbuildable. A fault scarp is located through the center of the property, traveling from Valley View towards the State Road Highway 89, so you can see that section cutting through here.
What is it?
Scarp.
It's a fault scarp line. This area is a non-buildable area. It measures 61 feet in width and will be part of a recorded plat note designating such. Based on the reviews from the geotechnical study, no other geological or geotechnical concerns need to be mitigated with the property. On February 24th, 2026, the Planning Commission voted unanimously to forward a recommendation of approval to the City Council for the rezone request from RS to R110. Staff supports the Planning Commission's recommendation and recommends that the City Council adopt Ordinance 2602 approving this rezone request. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Okay. Scarp, did you call it?
Fault scarp, yeah.
Okay. You can't build on it.
You cannot build on it.
But they can own it.
Yes.
Okay. It just seems odd that, you can't do anything with it, but you can own it.
But you can't put a building on it. Like they can't place a home on it.
That's right. They can't place the home on it. They can't place accessory structures on it.
Right.
They couldn't place a pool on it. Yeah.
I mean, you can play on it, but
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have one question. Can you identify the difference in the number of homes that it was being rezoned from? So the RS to the R110, what's the difference in the...
Yeah, an RS is generally 15,000 square foot lot. The R110 is a 10,000 square foot lot. These lots range, I thought I had that number in here. It's quite large. That might be on my other report, but yeah, here we go. The minimum lot ranges from 10,500 square feet to 18,800 square feet. When you decrease from the RS to the R110, it also allows them to have smaller frontages. So with a subdivision like this that's navigating a fault line and trying to fit lots in a specific area, it gives them a little bit of flexibility to have a little bit narrow lots up front and wider lots in the back. It just gives them a little bit more flexibility to put in the lots they're looking for.
Okay, good question. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you, Mayor. Just can you go over the notice requirements for those who would purchase these lots, knowing that there's a fault running through their property?
Yeah, absolutely. So the lots themselves will have a restriction on them, and then there would be a document recorded at the county stating that restriction, as well as a note on the plat.
Go ahead.
Just to follow up, and we'll see this. I know with the sensitive lands ordinance, we see this a few times, don't we?
You're going to see it preliminary and final as well.
Okay, thank you.
Just a clarification on the recording. That means it would show up on the title report. So when they go through closing, it would show on the title report.
Okay. Any other questions on this? Okay. This is a public hearing, so council, I'd need you to make a motion to go ahead and open the public hearing so that we can hear any comments from those in attendance.
Madam Mayor, I move that we open the public hearing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, the time is now yours. If anyone wishes to speak to item A of our public hearing, you're more than welcome to at this time. We will have an opportunity, if you're here for any of the other items, that you can speak at that time regarding those items. Okay, seeing that there's no comments on this rezone request, let's go ahead and move on to item number B, which is an annexation and rezone request.
Okay, thank you again, Mayor. Again, we are on the east side of 89. This is a proposed rezone containing 2.096 acres in the identified sensitive lands area. It is also a annexation, which is partly unincorporated Davis County that would be annexed into Layton City. Eric Craythorne with Craythorne Developments is seeking an approval for the annexation and rezone within the RS to the RS to develop the subject property with a standard single-family home subdivision. This is the location, again, east of 89, and the properties to the east is the Craythorne gravel pit, and then properties to the north are a R110, and you have an RS development to the west, and an R110 PRED development to the south. This just identifies the general plan designation and identifying the density of 1.1 to 3.5 units per acre, and that this request falls within those parameters. So I'll just caveat, when you see plans with that many lines on it, it makes it seem like it's very steep. They actually did a 2-foot separation between those lines, and so the slopes are not as great as you would see, as it feels like they are. The slopes on that property is around 10 to 15% generally. So it's not similar to the steep slopes that we've seen on other sensitive land properties. The conceptual plan for the The total project area includes 4 lots. The 4 single-family lots comply with the minimum lot size, and they range from 15,004 square feet to 58,000 square feet. The 4 lots will have direct frontage onto a new cul-de-sac street extending east from the East Side Drive. Access to the gravel pit will continue to be provided from a new street by the way of a property on the south side of this development, but that property is not included within the subdivision. The city and the applicant have been working with the applicant's geotechnical engineer and the city's third-party geotechnical engineer to identify and mitigate geotechnical and geological issues. The items explored with this report include faults, scarp locations, slope stability, stability of soils, groundwater, and liquefaction. The geotechnical study identified that the Davis Aqueduct along the eastern boundary line of the subject property and the Weaver Basin water storage facility were areas needed to be addressed. As identified with other subdivision developments within sensitive land areas, a planned residential unit development can be a good design. However, the PRED, similar to the subdivision we just looked at, is not necessarily needed for sensitive land developments on every subdivision. As outlined in the engineering staff memorandum, certain lots may be restricted for subsurface geotechnical issues in a way that is sufficient to address the underlying sensitive land issues. Additionally, the area in the conceptual subdivision does not include the areas of Additionally, the area of the conceptual subdivision does not include areas with slopes greater than 15.56%. As such, the conceptual plan may be developed on in accordance with the development standards of the RS and Sensitive Land Ordinance. On February 24, 2026, the Planning Commission forwarded a recommendation of approval to the City Council for the rezone request from unincorporated area to RS, residential suburban, subject to meeting all city requirements. Staff supports the Planning Commission's recommendation and recommends the Council adopt Ordinance 2604 and 2605, approving the annexation and the rezone requests. This recommendation is based on the compliance of the City's annexation policy plan, general plan, City Code, and the development guideline standards. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Council, go ahead.
On Lot 4, with the detention area there, will that give them enough room to face the road?
I can't see the numbers for here. You're talking about this lot here?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they'll have enough room to face here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have a question about these existing buildings that are already there. Can you speak to what those are and if they will remain or
they will be
built
removed
around? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mayor, thank you. The Planning Commission, how was the discussion on this item? I know you mentioned approved, unanimous, or were there questions?
There was no general concerns or comments that came.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If not, I'll go ahead and turn to the public. If they would like to address us regarding item B on our rezone request for the Love Valley View property, you're more than welcome to stand up. And once again, you got to state your name and what city you're from. Okay. Seeing that there's no comment, I'll go ahead and move on to item number C then, which is a development agreement for Trailside on West PRUD.
Thank you, Mayor. Sean Athey with LHM DEV TRS, which is also referred to as Destination Homes.
You want to restate that?
Is seeking approval to amend the development agreement for the Trailside West PRED. Trailside West is a master planned residential community with a small area of commercial flex industrial space in the front. This is identification of where Trailside is in the commercial components here. This subdivision includes single-family detached homes, townhomes, and eventually will include condominiums and apartments. The development agreement, which was executed in the fall of 2001, included specific development standards for the residential and commercial buildings in the Trailside West PRUD, as well as a provision of high-quality, unique open space amenities. The applicant is requesting an amendment to the development agreement to provide some flexibility to the design of the townhome units, while also maintaining the same level of quality and design that was originally approved. The development agreement includes strict adherence to specific development standards for each of the residential units within Trailside, as well as provisions for high-quality, unique open spaces. The applicant has found that tandem garages on the townhomes have not performed as well, and one of the components that they're looking to do is alter some of those townhomes that will allow them to put in a standard two-car garage instead of a tandem car garage. This will result in decreasing the number of units by 12 townhomes. They're not offsetting this by anything else. So the number of units that were approved for the development was 568, and that number will drop to 556. Due to the specifics of the development agreement, any minor design modification to the residential units required a formal amendment to the development agreement. To provide greater flexibility in the design while maintaining compliance with the development agreement, they're requesting this change. Just some anecdotal experiences as a part of this development agreement, because it was so specific and they brought a very, very specific plan of how it was going to be developed. Staff followed that plan, and so as building permits came in, we compared it to that plan and said, if it is not exactly this, as we discussed, then we need to have discussions. And so we held that line very firmly. It got to the point where there were some decisions that were reasonable and were not changing the context of the design, and we're talking about movements of windows, redesigns on the interior that might remove a window or place it in a different position, and it was causing some issues with their ability to sell some of the units. And so that's the main reason why we're here today, and having that's the main request that they're bringing forward. To bring a resolution to that, what they have offered and what they're presenting is to change the design components to a pattern book. The pattern book is intended to address all the residential building design standards for Trailside West PRUD, such as the amendment outlines what language the section of the development agreements are being amended and replaced with the standards provided in the pattern book. Staff reviewed the proposed pattern book and the development standards to ensure consistency with zoning and the project and terms of the development agreement. There are no new terms being proposed that would violate any of the previous agreements upon the terms of the existing development agreement. The pattern book provides detailed design standards for single-family homes and townhomes. Sections of the development agreement relate to design standards that are applicable to all residential buildings. Will remain in the development agreement. This includes references to the Layton City Municipal Code requiring compliance from the apartments and condominium buildings. The pattern book also includes a page to address the condominiums. The only design standard change for the condominiums is a call out of a 7 by 7 foot porch as opposed to a 49-foot porch. This was a request from the developer specifically to make sure that that porch was actually livable. You can obviously have a 49 square foot porch and not have a reasonable depth. And so we appreciated their addressing that. During the public hearing from the Planning Commission, it was discussed that the development agreement does not prevent similar units from being repeated when next to each other. When the municipal code requires townhomes to expressly have unique townhome units next to each other, we worked with the applicant and identified that that was never their intent to have townhomes that were the exact same townhome next to each other. However, there was a component of the pattern agreement that was reviewed by the Planning Commission that allowed for a repeating pattern. And so you'll see that as crossed off within the plan. The recommendation tonight will be to remove that section. The developer was in agreement with that, and they, as I said, didn't have any plans to do that anyway. In addition to the pattern book, changes to the master plan Exhibit B and master plan diagram B2 have been updated. Here's Exhibit B1. It's just updating. This is really going through the townhomes and just realigning that a little bit, updating the graphics. This is, again, there's actually a small error in this graphic showing a section of the single family when it wasn't supposed to be, so this is just clarifying. This is just going through, and this is in your packet, but this goes through what the pattern book would look like. It pulls out the general conditions of the of the townhomes and what the standards are that they'll need to apply to. And this outlines the standards for again, it's duplicated in the development agreement, but this pulls out the requirements for the porches that we just talked about. This really is the nuts and bolts of this type of plan, where they are set up to show us the types of units that they're going to construct with placements of porches and windows and those ideas, changing design styles, moving locations. And so it gives us a broad range to be able to review those plans and say, as long as it's meeting these standards, then they can build. On February 24th, the Planning Commission forwarded a recommendation approval to the City Council for the development agreement amendment, and staff supports the recommendation of the Planning Commission and recommends the approval of Resolution 2614, approving the development agreement amendment subject to the removal of the repeated townhome assembly in the pattern book as outlined in the staff report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, Council, any questions? Okay, Councilman.
Thank you. I do have a couple of questions. Do you know how much of that development is complete presently?
I don't think I could tell you. Mr. Sean Athey is here. He might be able to address that, but I don't have that information off the top of my head.
Okay, and maybe I can have some follow-ups if the applicant's willing to answer. But I was just wondering what was complete, what is still waiting to be completed. It sounds like there was some difficulty with finishing some of these because of the inability to sell, and so probably not moving forward. And so I just wanted to understand kind of the scope of what's still left. It did sound like apartments and condos have not been started on yet.
Correct.
But from what you described, it also sounds like there are still townhomes that haven't been completed as well.
That's correct as well. And I'll let Mr. Athey address this further, but they have been moving forward with a number of buildings, and we've worked with them as much as we possibly can to get units built. He'd have to address if there's any units that they've held back on specifically for these criteria.
Okay, and the crux of the question is to also understand what was the original timeline. I think this was slightly before I started, but what the original timeline was for completion of this development. So those are some of the questions that I have.
Okay, go ahead. I need to remind you, though, go ahead and state your name and what city you're from.
Sean Athey, represent LHM, DSH, Larry H. Miller Destination Homes out of Sandy, Utah. The development, Weston, can you go back to the slide that shows the overall project? We're probably about 30 to 40% built out. Yeah, I've got the pointers there. First time using the laser at a city council meeting. So this portion of the subdivision on the south is built out. The park is in. These townhomes right here, we just put in the infrastructure on that last year. We built the single-family homes on that part, and we're waiting for this amendment to be able to modify these townhomes. That's where we had the majority of the single-family product, or the single-car garage moving forward. So we just couldn't sell. We had a bunch that sat on the market for a long time, had to cut costs significantly to get them taken care of, but they were not a big mover. And then these have almost all been built out. This section is built out, and this section is built out. So really the bulk of the project left for us in townhomes and single family is this center section, which I'm working on the civil engineered plans right now for half of that, to submit this in the next couple of months and start that development portion this summer. So we're close. Most of the open space is in. We just finished all these walking trails. There's some bike parks right here with some jump features, and then the playground in here is put in, and the playground on the north is just getting finished up. So a good portion of the subdivision has been being built at this point and sold quite a few units.
Okay. And then with the pattern book, I know that there was another development that I'm going to say destination because I'm not going to remember all of those acronyms. The destination came and presented on, and that was a kind of a new concept for us at the time. But I think understandable about maybe the need to have a little bit of flexibility in that. And so it sounds as though you may have decided to use that same method here.
Yes, that you're referencing the Stevenson Fields project, which we were here November, December, which we're hoping to start that here pretty soon too. Yeah, matching the same situation. We want to be able to make the council and community know what we're building, the general fill, but also give us the flexibility to adjust to the market where we build a floor plan that doesn't work and you go, oh, we don't have to stick to this forever. We can change the bedroom count, change the bathroom count, make the adjustments to hit the market need as the project continues. So that's what we're hoping for on this as well.
So if this moves forward, like what is your expected completion date or range?
Market determines all of that, but the expectation is we will be submitting our plans to finish the homes in the phase 2, begin horizontal development and infrastructure for phase 3. So they'll start the homes on that early next year. And then next summer, we would submit plans to put in the infrastructure for this and start building homes about 2 years out from there. I believe the apartments, we don't own the apartment portion. That is Newtown Development. I think they've submitted permits. I know I've been working with their group for some dirt removal and stuff. So it sounds like their apartments are pretty close to getting started. And the condos, we're still working through some plans and different things. They're not sure what's going to happen there yet for timing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I speak on behalf of many of us in the city who are happy that there was a reduction of some of those homes in this change. But thanks for yielding to the questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Council? Okay, I'll open it up for public comment on item number C. Seeing that there's none, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the council. I'll need you to close our public hearing, and then we'll need to take action on each item individually.
I move we close the public hearing.
Okay.
And I make a motion on the rezone request for Overlook, Case Creek, and that is ordinance 26-02.
Okay. Do I have a second?
What?
No.
Yeah, to approve it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would help.
Do I have a second on approval of the ordinance 26-02?
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Being that this is a public hearing, we need to take a roll call vote on this. I'll start down here with Councilmember Thomas.
I'll get this one right. Aye.
Okay. Councilmember Smith Edmondson.
I am, because this is going to move to another couple of opportunities, I'm just a little concerned about that scarf line in the middle, understanding that the information will be listed on the title. I also know we've had some issues in the past where these move to different owners and maybe they know about it, maybe they don't know about it. So I'm still a little iffy about that. So at this time, I'm going to have to say no.
Okay. Councilmember Calendranis.
Aye.
Okay. Councilmember Morse.
I'm in the same situation as Councilmember Smith Edmondson, and it's a large scarp. I'd like to see more information about that. Tonight I'm going to vote no.
Okay. This will be a first here tonight. We have 2 against, 2 in favor. Councilmember Bloxham is not in attendance, so that falls to the mayor to weigh in on the vote. which I have to say, this is a tough one. Because I understand the need for single-family homes. I also understand the importance of safety, the safety concern here, especially when it comes to fault lines and sensitive lands. However, I know that we will be having another look at this, and we'll be able to see the placement of the homes and how that will come into play regarding those lines. So I am going to vote in favor of. So yes. So that makes it that item number A does pass. We'll go on to item number B. So council, I'll bring it back for a motion there. Who wants to make a motion regarding the annexation and rezone request for the Loves Valley View property?
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the rezone request of Loves Valley View ordinance 26-04 and 26-05.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Thomas. Okay, once again, we've got to do a roll call vote. Councilmember Morris?
Aye.
Councilmember Clendranis?
Aye.
Councilmember Smith-Edmondson?
Aye.
And Councilmember Thomas?
Aye.
There you have it. It passes. We'll now go on to item number C, the development agreement for the Trailside West PRUD. I need someone to make a motion on that.
Madam Mayor, I move that we accept Trailside PRD Resolution 2614 Amendment Agreement. Development Agreement Amendment.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved in second, so I'll take a roll call vote on that. I'll start with Councilmember Clendranis.
Aye.
Councilmember Morris.
I just, before I vote, want to commend the staff and the developer on working together and figuring this out, keeping it mostly intact. And I remember this from when we approved the development agreement. It was to the inch.
Yes.
And the staff did a great job, and with the intent of, at the time, it makes sense now to be more flexible for the market. Everything remains the same for the most part, and so I'm pleased with working together. And with that, I vote aye.
Okay. Thank you. Where am I at? I've got to go to this side now. I'm going to start down here with Councilmember Thomas.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Smith-Edmondson.
Aye.
Okay, there you have it. It passes. So with that concludes our public hearing portion of our meeting. It also is the end of our regularly scheduled meeting. So, Council, if you have no unfinished business, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Okay. Second? Second. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'll acknowledge that, and I especially want to give a shout-out to the young scouts there. They were very good. They were quiet. I know it's a long meeting, but educational. So if you haven't got your merit badge, you certainly earned one tonight. Thank you.